Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve. You know, it's as if CNN decided to double down on parodies of its own left-wing absurdities. They're pushing awareness of a new form of racism you never even imagined could possibly exist. But in the warped, woke world of CNN, it does. You're not going to believe the latest straw grasping coming from the most distrusted name in fake news. And wait until you hear the numbers from their latest ratings implosion. It doesn't get better than this. CNN has stooped to a new low in our ruling elite's attempt at racially dividing America. John Blake, a senior writer at CNN, is accusing white people, that's right, white people, not Asians, not Latinos, no. He's accusing white people of wearing what he calls a digital blackface whenever they share comedic memes or GIFs featuring black people. Now, if you're white, okay, and you send out a meme or a GIF that features the image of a black person, you are now, according to CNN, the digital equivalent of Al Jolson. According to the CNN article, quote, if you're black and you've shared such images online, well, you get a pass. But if you're white, you may have inadvertently perpetuated one of the most insidious forms of contemporary racism. How do people like this live with themselves? I'm serious. I am totally serious here. How does such mired misery, how does such unrelenting loathing live with itself? I'm, as you Brits would say out there, I'm gobsmacked. I'm utterly speechless before the tattered throne of such obvious virtue signaling. And obviously, I'm not alone. Gobsmacked, that is. There were fortunately plenty of people who had plenty to say in response to this parody of repulsiveness on the part of CNN. Clay Travis tweeted out, I'd love to hear an explanation of how posting a GIF or meme of a black person online is digital blackface, but a man dressing up like a woman in real life is heroic. Please explain, CNN. Siraj Hashmi tweeted out the same thing. CNN is more concerned about digital blackface than they are about biological men wearing woman face in real life. Glenn Greenwald, the modern-day segregationists do everything possible to keep people divided by race, prevent them from having joyful and natural interactions, ban them from appreciating the culture and humor in others, and in general demand that they have as little in common as possible. Writer Emmanuel Rinson tweeted out, congratulations, this is the stupidest thing I've read in all 2023. You guys really outdo yourselves on a daily basis. And Nicholas Fondacaro of the Media Research Center tweeted out, CNN boss Chris Licht, I want to make CNN a place of reasonable discussions again. CNN responds, segregate memes. Now, what he's getting at there is this new CEO, Chris Licht, was widely seen as the person who was going to save CNN precisely by restoring sanity to the place. He was quite vocal in how CNN needed to be rescued from the obvious left-wing shift of the last few years. And so he's fired a number of the more egregiously woke anchors. They fired the ultra-leftist correspondent John Harwood, the guy who actually made the outlandish claim that there was, quote, zero evidence that Joe Biden had any connection with Hunter's illicit business dealings. They fired Mr. Potato Head, the utterly cringeworthy and repulsive Brian Stelter. They got rid of the Zoomer groomer, Jeffrey Toobin. They yanked the rabid anti-Trump CNN president, Jeff Zucker, and, of course, Chrissy Cuomo got destroyed in his own making. But big picture, this is all an attempt at rebranding CNN, trying to restore it to its original reputation of being a reputable news organization. However, as you can see with this article, CNN continues to be insufferably left-wing and liberal. And as we can see with this absurd stretch in the form of digital blackfacing, CNN has become virulently racist in the process. So Licht is not going to be rescuing CNN. That appears very clear at this point. And that's, of course, because he's effectively doing nothing to restore trust in the network. The thing with news organizations is that trust and reliability are foundational to their business model. If a news organization is no longer considered to be a reliable mediator of information, why would anyone avail themselves of it? The more CNN demonstrates itself to be nothing more than left-wing propaganda, the more it surrenders its claims to objectivity and therefore its reliability as a mediator of accurate information. And the latest ratings implosion proves it. Wait until you see these numbers. They are utterly humiliating. But you know what else is humiliating? Biden bailing out the woke executives over at Silicon Valley Bank on the backs of taxpayers. That's right. You and I are paying for the incompetence of these woke millionaires. But why should we be surprised? This crony White House is more worried about global warming and so-called equity and diversity and funding Ukraine than they are protecting and serving our own country. But you don't have to play their game anymore. It's time to opt out of this rigged system and move your cash into gold and silver now before it's too late. And that's where our good friends over at Goldco come in. Click on that link below and learn the 3 simple steps you can take right now to protect your savings with gold and silver. In fact, Goldco, they're patriots just like us, and they're offering you up to $10,000 in free silver while supply lasts. So don't wait. Click on that link below or visit my special website, turleytalkslikesgold.com. The latest ratings are in for CNN, and they are nothing short of devastating. The primetime average viewership among the 25 to 54-year-olds, the most important viewer demographic, has dropped to just over 80,000. It can't drop much lower than that. 84,000 to be exact. We have to give them every single viewer they can get. 84,000 views on average for CNN primetime. That's for the week of March 13th. Their total day viewership from the same demographic was the same, around 80,000. By contrast, Fox News' primetime lineup was bringing in upwards of nearly 250,000 among the 25 to 54-year-old demographic. That's 5 times what CNN is pulling in. 80,000 is compared to 250,000. Gang, I mean, what do you say? This is a network that is literally hemorrhaging viewers. I mean, its audience is disappearing. I don't know where they're going. I honestly, because it's not like MSNBC is doing that much better. MSNBC averaged around 100,000 primetime viewers from that demographic, and less than CNN during the daytime. MSNBC was around, they were down like to 76,000. So I don't know if these former CNN viewers are just turning off news as a whole or watching more independent content creators, or maybe they're tuning into Fox. Whatever they're doing, they ain't tuning into CNN. And why should they? This network has consistently demonstrated itself nothing more than a shill for all things woke and left. And there's not a single issue pushed by Democrats that I've seen critically challenged by CNN in any way remotely comparable to how they push back against Republicans. In fact, Don Lemon has doubled down on that. He's accusing the Republicans, particularly MAGA Republicans, of not being in touch with reality. So the obvious implication there is that Republicans should be treated differently than Democrats by the media, which is an overt admission to CNN's partisan bias. I mean, it's beyond absurd. But it's precisely what we've come to expect from a network that is clearly doubling down on stupid. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You'll definitely want to check out my latest video on the indictment backfiring as the case against Trump implodes. You're going to absolutely love this. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.